Welcome back to A Little Bit of Cheese, your bite-sized Wisconsin sports podcast. Yes, I remembered how to say that. Thank you all for tuning in after our mini hiatus. Sam Douglas is my friend here. My name is Cody Depius, and we are back with an episode and probably the best time of the year for sports, and that's why I have to apologize that we took some time off, because there has been so much that we have missed across so many different landscapes. But first off, Sam, how are you?
Life's good. Life's good. A lot of action going on, a lot of sports. Say wedding season's in the middle of it, staying busy. But Brewers are up 2-1 on the Cubs, so no complaints here right now.
That's right. And the Brewers, they do have a chance to clinch their first postseason series victory since I was back in high school. Actually, back in 2018 when they overtook the Colorado Rockies. That was so long ago that I don't remember what life was like back then. That was before an entire pandemic occurred, and the Brewers have had so many opportunities since then. But here we are now in the big 2-5 is what people call it now, in the big 2-5. We're seriously doing this. The Brewers, of course, got off to a huge 2-0 start against the Chicago Cubs, just a shellacking in Game 1 and Game 2. The bats came out to hit. In the first game, they put up 9 runs, none of them via the homer. And, of course, the narrative was, well, this isn't going to last forever. Batting average on balls in play. They had a lot of luck in that first game. The national talking heads were saying this team can't hit home runs. We don't expect them to go any further. And then all of their runs in Game 2 of that series coming via the home run. Let's start there. The first 2 games, the Brewers' dominance. What did you all see there in the first 2 games in Milwaukee?
Man, they came out ready, huh? They came out ready. Even after giving off that opening home run, they started both first innings down, and then just the response from this team is unbelievable. I love a Brewers team that's down 1. I don't know if I love them as much when they're down 3 or 4, but I love a Brewers team when they're down 1. And they came out swinging right away, just doubles and doubles and doubles, and taking advantage of miscues and putting pressure on defense. And it's the same Brewers that we've seen all year long. And taking that break, a big conversation point in baseball when you're getting into the playoffs is that week off, is that top seed a good thing? If you're a hot baseball team, do you just want to keep playing ball, stay on schedule? Or when you take a week off, are you going to come back a little rusty, maybe drop the first game? Next thing you know, you're down in the series. And the Brewers came back ready. They had the week off. They earned that rest. They took that rest, and they came out freaking guns blazing. And it's really great showing for the first 2 games. A little bit of confused on the lineup yesterday, but yeah, I think once we get all the guys, the playoff players playing playoff ball, I think we should take care of this series, and man, the bats are alive.
Yeah, I mean, it was big, and I think what we saw initially those first couple of seasons with this playoff format were your top 2 seeds in each respective league get that week off. I think 5 out of the 6 did not advance. Like, it was a really weird number, a weird stat where you were almost to like a point where, is it even worth it getting the top 2 seeds in the league because you don't have an advantage. But, and even to this point, I mean, Philly's down. Toronto, they took care of business. So one of the home teams won there. Philly was down. They are still down 2-1. They got another game in LA before going back to Philly. I mean, they have a chance, but as we all saw that stat on the Brewers screen after going up 2-0, teams that are 2-0 have an 88.9% chance of advancing. And we all know what percentages of advancing might mean here in the state of Wisconsin, and we know that really doesn't matter when it all comes down to it. But the Brewers really should, and I think will, and I feel stupid for even saying that, but, I mean, you have an opportunity tonight. It is in Wrigley. It's a tough place to play. Freddy Peralta is on the mound for the Brewers, who looked really good in that first start, and he did give up that first inning home run to start off the playoffs against Michael Busch. And when he gave that up, you kind of sat back in your chair and you looked around and you're like, are we doing this again? Is this really happening? But Freddie got in a groove. He settled down. He got into the sixth inning and had a really good performance. You hope that that carries over into tonight and that they can take care of business because I'm going to say it first and foremost, you do not want a game five. You just do not want a chance that you play tonight like it is your last game. You play tonight like
Absolutely.
you are on the brink of getting eliminated because you cannot let this Cubs team get hot. You can't let those bats start rolling.
Mhm.
We saw them the first part of this regular season, and they might have been the best offense in all of baseball. Yes, they really slowed down that second half, but this team and the bats that they have, if they get hot, they don't need pitching. They can put up an 11 or 12 spot on you, and they can just take care of business that way. And as good as that Brewers offense looked the first two games, they can't slug like that. They can't keep up like that. They can play really scrappy and they can get runs when it's tough, but more firepower is just more firepower. And the Cubs have that on the offensive side. So Milwaukee needs to mitigate on the pitching side. That run defense unit needs to do its job. And this is actually the first series in MLB playoff history that the first three games of the series, each team scored in the first inning. First time ever, actually. So I
I love
think the
that.
biggest key,
That's a rivalry factor right there, baby. These teams show up, they want to play.
it's stupid. Just get a zero. Just get a zero tonight. Get into a groove. Let your offense take care of business and get out of this series because there's just like this lurking feeling, and we've watched this team for enough years. We're like that. It's like that boogeyman behind you, and he can creep up and he can get you. Going up 2-0, we are on top of the world. You got 3 games to win one. You should always do it. Just
I
win
think
tonight, and we don't even have to have that conversation any further. That's where I'm at with it. I want to be happy. I'm happy that the Brewers are up 2-1, but I can't feel content with this until they just take this next game. And your best chance, I would have to think, is going to be with Freddy Peralta on the mound.
something that has helped the Brewers this entire season, and we saw it in when Horner bobbled the grounder to second in the first game, is taking advantage of mistakes that the
Mm-hmm.
defense makes. You know, they're going to give you one or two a game typically. You know, over 9 innings, someone's going to give you an opportunity to take an extra base, take an extra two bases. You know, something like whether a pitch goes to the wall or there's an error in the field, and we didn't take advantage of that in game three. I think it was Durbin who's in a pickle. It looked like he could have scored there. You know, so far in this series, we have 0 stolen bases at this point. Now, we didn't necessarily need to push anything in game one, especially. But you hope that, as Chuck Friedman says, Murph isn't trying to reinvent the wheel here. Yeah, this is a team that has consistencies and habits down really, really well. So we don't need to overthink this process. You keep stealing bases, keep your good ball players out there, let your pitchers do their thing, and hopefully we're not overthinking too much going into here. And hopefully we keep taking advantage of the mistakes that the defense gives us. There will be a few out there. You know, keep playing aggressive ball. There was another one in game three when I think Sal could have made it to third. There was two different instances when it was a first to third push and he got held up at second when it was somebody fast. I think it was Ortiz and then Frelick in two different occasions. I'm like, why are we hold them up at second? We're supposed to be an aggressive offense. We're supposed to be really good at base running. You know, let's keep doing that. So I want to see some fireworks on the bases. That's what brought the Brewers to the number one team in baseball, and hopefully it's going to get us through the series.
Yeah, I can't remember the Frelick instance, the Durbin instance. I just thought that was a put pressure on him kind of play. I mean, he was a dead duck there. That's what it was. It's either they throw to first and they give up a run.
Well, you know what would have happened is if we had somebody other than Brandon Lockridge laying down that bunt. I don't
Yes.
know, maybe somebody who plays regular ball putting
Yes.
that bunt down. I love the move. What are we doing? I'm sorry, we are in no shape to question Murph. What are we doing? Brandon Lockridge, we have four other outfielders that should be playing before this guy. You
Yes.
know, and maybe he's an asset defensively, but that's a run difference maker.
Yep.
Blake Perkins can lay down that bunt. Isaac Collins can lay down that bunt because they play regular ball. Oh,
Yeah.
That's what got me.
Yeah, and that point that you brought up of overthinking it, that's exactly what happened. Murph overthought it yesterday, putting Lockridge in that lineup. There was absolutely no reason. Like, bottom line, that Brandon Lockridge, he hasn't played since the middle of August. He hasn't played since the last time we had a podcast. Like, but
And he
it's been
wasn't good. And he was. It's not like he was
no,
good.
he can't hit. What Lockridge is, and there is value there, it is a late inning base running and defensive replacement. He should
Mhm.
not have a bat in his hand at the end of the game or at any point in any of these games. And he started him. There is no reason that Blake Perkins is not in the lineup yesterday. At zero zilch, nada. Perkins is a better defender. Perkins is a better hitter from either side. You can play whatever matchup you want to. Brandon Lockridge is not a major league hitter. Blake Perkins is. No, it was stupid. I like we said, we can't grill him. This is the manager that has kind of kept this team afloat where it was and has put us in this position where you and I can even be frustrated about this because this team won 97 games. You look at this roster and nobody will ever tell you that this team should have won 97 games. But they did. When that happens, you have to give kudos to the manager. I don't know if a lineup is out for today yet, but I'm just really crossing my fingers that there's nothing stupid like that. First two games are great. Had it perfectly. First two games are awesome. Just take care of business tonight, and then we don't have to grill you about Brandon Lockridge anymore. But it was befuddling to see that. And
Same with
yeah,
Bowers too. I mean, I know Bowers hit a home run, so that's kind of saving Murph a little bit because Bowers did hit that dinger. But Vaughn
Bowers
hit
has
a
been
big one.
hot.
Vaughn hit a big one the day before, and then there was bases were loaded for Bowers. It was at the eighth inning, top of the eighth. I think he had bases loaded, and Bowers was hitting, and then Vaughn came in and pinch hit the next inning. If we're gonna be making these subs, and you want to give someone a clutch at bat, I just don't see it. We saw it earlier in the year when he kept trying to push Siegler, and Siegler was pinch hitting in some big moments.
Yeah.
And I thought that that attitude was for regular season baseball. I'm hoping that that doesn't translate
I
into the
mean,
playoffs. It's great to
this
be
is
27
splits.
deep.
I can defend him here. Bowers has been hot as a rocket the last couple of weeks, and that carried in. He was 2 for 4. He had 2 of your 3 runs batted in because he had that RBI single and he had a bomb. Jake
Yeah.
Bowers did give me that birthday gift that I was hoping for. Yeah, he had an opportunity with the bases loaded, but he was facing a righty. Jake Bowers, as of recent, I believe is hitting over 350 against righties. And this is like a couple week clip. I'm not going to grill him for that. Andrew Vaughn had his opportunity at the end of the game to get a big hit and get something going there. I believe that was in the 9th inning. He did get his at bat. He was there. I mean, we could have really saved this conversation by putting Jake Bowers in the outfield too, putting Sal Frelick in center, and you can have Vaughn play at first if that's the way that you wanted to play it. And it just
If we're benching an outfielder, how about we give Churio's hamstring a little day off? The only thing I can think
don't
of
take
is
that. Don't take that bat out of the line.
no. Have him DH. Have him DH. I don't know, and give Yelly a day off. That's if we're pulling strings
Once
like
again,
this.
you're not taking Yelich out of that. You can't.
And you shouldn't take Blake Perkins out of the lineup.
You can take Blake Perkins out. I mean, Churio and Yelich, those are guys that you don't sit. Point blank. Terang, Frelick, don't sit. Point blank. Contreras, don't sit. Point blank. Anybody else, fair game. I don't care. Even Caleb Durbin, just because nobody else can play third base, he's not sitting. Oh, if Durbin gets hurt, it's a Monasterio game. Yeah, we can play that one later. We don't need to talk about that.
He had his moment this year. I'm glad Monasterio had his moment this year.
Hey, at this point, I'd rather watch Monasterio at bats than any Joey Ortiz. Joey Ortiz is hitting like he's in rookie ball. I can't, but he's playing a heck of a shortstop. And that's what he's there to do, and he's doing the job that we expect him to do. It's just give me something offensively. Yeah, he had a walk and a single, I think, in the first couple games. But once again, opportunities arose yesterday, and that you can take the bat out of his hands. You can just throw sliders in the dirt, and he's gonna swing. Or you're gonna throw a fastball down the middle, and he'll take that. Or a hanging curveball, and he'll just watch it. The approach there. You saw why Pat Murphy benched him a couple times in the middle of the season. If it wasn't the playoffs, I think Joey Ortiz would be benched at this point, but they're playing the defensive game. And that's why Brandon Lockridge was in the lineup yesterday. Like they're playing for this defense where you're gonna be fine no matter who's out in the outfield. There's nobody that you're gonna throw out there that I'm gonna say really takes that much away from you. Ortiz, I can live with because what he does at shortstop or what he's been doing, like he started off the season slow. That second half was just flat out incredible. He makes these just silly, silly, awesome plays. And Ron Darling will just be like, "Oh, look, a nice play by Joey Ortiz." And then anytime Dansby Swanson like just has a regular growl, "Look at this play by," that's a whole nother topic.
National announcers are something else, Cody.
Oh, Ron Darling, I can't. Oh, he is just a goofball, man. I can't stand it.
I think so. Hear me out. I think this would be great. We should have Brian Anderson, a national head, and then whoever the Cubs guy is.
Yeah,
Let's have
Boog.
three talking heads up there.
Brian and Boog.
Everybody, every home run gets a home team call. You get your home guys. They know the players. They've been following the team, and you get one host to kind of mediate everything. I don't know why we're not doing that. We get two guys who don't know squat. We just pick out random Chicago Cubs fans. It's Ron Darling, dude. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, it's good. Every team should have their own broadcast, like they have in the regular season. Like there's a way you can make that happen. You have TBS and TNT doing both these games. You can just have either or. I mean, we're so far into the live stream, just have it on a flipping live stream. Like a TBS app, everyone can download for free and you can watch these games. And I mean, the money's in the advertising. It's whatever. Yeah, it was even worse last year with ESPN. I can tell you that. Like this year I can kind of live with. Last year they couldn't even pronounce the names correctly on the on the broadcast. So this year at least they got the names down, but you can always just sense a little bit of bias when it comes to everything. So yeah, big game tonight. Freddie on the bump. I'm saying take it home. Don't let me worry. I want to sleep well tonight and maybe into the weekend as well. Because if they drop this game, then I think it's another day off, which I also think all these days off in the middle of it are so dumb. And it takes away like the element of where Milwaukee would have had an advantage those first two games, getting the starting pitchers out so early. Absolutely. You would have seen that effect. You probably would have had a sweep because Chicago would have been just flat out of pitching, period. But
they spent their pitching against the Padres. They spent all their pitching against the Padres, too. They had nothing.
Yep. And they have these days off in the middle. If you're a relief pitcher, you can go 2 innings, take a day off, and go right back and throw. Like that, you can pitch everybody every day out of the bullpen. And like that kind of goes. I mean, tonight, Brewers have everybody fresh. Like there is no reason you cannot throw all of your best arms out there. I want to see Freddie. I want to see Uribe. I want to see McGill. I'm okay if Uribe is the first guy out of the pen, like to set the tone.
Give me a fourth guy. Who's the fourth arm that you want to see? I'm curious.
Aaron Ashby.
Okay.
Aaron Ashby's disgusting. Aaron Ashby's so good. That's the guy. Chad Patrick, I think, is also in that conversation now. That guy's playing with his hair on fire.
The placement of his pitches, I was really, really blown away with what I saw out of Chad Patrick in game 2, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think he pitched a little in game 1 as well. He looks good. Like Chad Patrick looks like a guy that I can be comfortable with out there on the mound.
Let's talk about game 2, Cody. Whole lot of bullpen action happened game 2, which I thought was fantastic. We won. The Brewers won game 2 on May 22nd of 2025 when they DFA'd Yoel Payamps, because if he would have gotten a shot in that game, there was one bad apple. We won game 2 of a playoffs when we got Yoel Payamps out of the building. He came back for a brief stint, I think in September, then we DFA'd him again, which is absolutely fantastic. But dude, the bullpen stepped up. I like all the arms in there, man. The guys that are actually going to pitch. I don't think I'm going to see a clutch inning out of Rob Jastrzynski. I also didn't think I'd see Brandon Lockridge starting, hitting. Yeah. So hopefully we do roll out those good arms. Hopefully Ashby does get an inning. I want to see Ashby get an inning tonight as well. That's what my first thought was. I'm fine. If we roll out Miz for a clutch inning tonight, man, I'm okay with that.
There's that piece of me, and it feels kind of stupid. Like, say that he's available, but I would really push to just keep him if, knock on wood, if there is a game five, because that is a guy that gives you length. If
Yeah.
crap hits the fan the first couple of innings, Miz is your guy, and you put the season on his shoulders to put out the fire and get you through a couple of innings. Tonight, you have enough of your A game arms. You got enough of your 1 or 2 inning guys. Use those guys up, keep everybody off balance, and then Mizorowski, he's there and he's fresh because the next starter, I don't know who it's going to be. Like, do you throw out a Quintana? Do you throw out a Robert Gasser? Tonight you throw everybody, and I'm going to be completely honest. What we saw was great from Mizorowski that first
Mhm.
time. I don't need Mizorowski pitching in a one-run game. I'm still
No,
I'm
that's
going
fair.
to say that. Like, tonight you want to pitch like you are going all out, like it's your elimination. And I don't know. It's weird to say. I don't want a one-run lead and Mizorowski pitching out there tonight. I want your Ashby. I mean, even if it's a lefty, I can live with Jared Koenig. And I know we've hated on him a little bit through text. I know you don't like him.
I don't want to see Caning.
If you have like a Kyle Tucker, like up to the plate, you can throw or a Pete Crow Armstrong, you can throw a Jared Koenig, and I am completely fine with it because those guys couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat facing a left-handed pitcher right now. Which I'm not saying that Koenig's the first guy you're going to use. It's your Ashby, it's your Rebe, it's your McGill, it's possibly your Chad Patrick. Those are your guys, and I want all of them out there before Mizorowski, and then Mizorowski can be fresh if need be for a game five. And then even if you get that first game against probably the Dodgers, maybe the Phillies, then Mizorowski's there and he can give you some length. He's that guy where if it starts hitting the fan and you got to get somebody out of there, then Miz comes in, puts out the fire, or he just tanks the game and you let him just eat it and wear it.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. But no more of the rest of this series. Miz is not eating anything the rest of this series. He's there if you need him. He's the break glass in case of emergency.
I think he would be my game five starter. Actually, now that you mention, I think that's a good play. Priester benefited from had a really good regular season. He got the benefit of the doubt a handful of times. You don't get to, what was it, 12 straight wins and not starting without a single loss, without a
He was
little bit
19.
yeah, nine. I mean, that's a lot, but you get the benefit of the doubt a few times in there. He benefited with a really good offense behind him.
He had a
But
3.2 ERA. He had
but
a
he's
great year.
he doesn't have 1A stuff, Cody. Like when
Yeah.
you get a Quinn Priester pitching against a Cubs team with their backs against the wall, he never stood a chance. He doesn't have that 1A stuff, and that's why I want to see a little bit more Miz than Nick Mears, because I think the stuff is just juicier. And when you got a team like the Cubs that is this potent offensively, that can hit a bomb 1 through 9, you can't roll out somebody who's pretty good with good location and has had a solid year with a good offense behind him. I think it's time to really get the gas out there, and that's what I've been pushing this whole year when I've talked about who's your seventh inning guy. Because you can't fall off for a little bit. Jared Koenig might not cut it in an elimination game against the Cubs.
Yeah. I'll still stand on, I think Aaron Ashby can be that guy. He can be your 6th and your 7th right now. Like that stuff he might have the second best stuff on the team. Mizorowski first, of course. Like out of just pure wow factor.
Well, your
like
rebate's juicy though. Your rebate's juicy.
You got dogs. Like, and that's where the benefit is for this team. Nick Mears needs to pitch when you're losing. Like, and they were losing yesterday. You had him more in a firefighter situation just to put the fire out. Don't know if Nick Mears would have been the guy I would have went to there. Maybe I would have had him start with a fresh inning. But like, hey, that wild pitch, that's 1 run. Brewers lost by 1 run yesterday, and I'll leave it at that. I don't know. It's fun to have these conversations. I love just going to your local bar and grill and watching the game in an environment like this because people care about this. This is a series. I don't know. I'm feeling nerves like driving around like during my workday. Like, oh, is Freddie gonna have one of those Freddie games? Like that thought was going through my mind today, and you're gonna have a quick leash regardless because you have enough arms, you've had enough rest. Where it's baseball, man. And we're gonna see how it
The
plays.
Brewers lineup just got released in the past 3 minutes.
Okay.
Leading off, we have Christian Yelich hitting
Mm.
second, Jackson Churio third, Contreras. Turang is cleaning up. First base is Andrew Vaughn. Durbin's at third, Frelick in right, Blake Perkins back in center, and your go-to shortstop is in the 9 hole, Joey Ortiz. So
Sweet.
that's
Awesome.
everybody. That's the
That
good.
that's what you want. Maybe I'd shuffle those guys around a little bit, but like 1 through 8, any one of those guys could put a big hit out. So that's good. No more
One
Brandon
through eight.
Lockridge. Like, yeah, no, we'll see. You have your ace on the mound. You're in the situation you want. Matthew Boyd, who they're facing tonight, they absolutely took it to. Yes, he was on short rest, but Boyd had a pretty rough last month of the regular season as well. He wasn't that ace that we saw in the first half for Chicago. He's really slowed down, and Milwaukee's they've hit him well. They have a good approach against him, and they've been hitting lefties well, like all year, and that's been just I think advantage tonight. Milwaukee, don't let stupid things happen. Murphy, we don't need to be cute. Just go and throttle down and step on their neck and twist. That's
I like Freddie pitching in this matchup. With some other starters, you'd kind of worry about, hey, they've seen him before. You know, the Cubs have seen Freddie for years now. He's not a foreign player. They've seen him plenty of times.
yeah.
I don't think seeing him 4 days ago is going to impact whether they can hit him or not. Where in the Brewers case, you know, with Boyd, we saw him 4 days ago. Felt really, really good seeing him 4 days ago.
Hmm.
So that differentiation there is you can see Freddie 100 times as the Cubs have, and I understand it's different players every single year. But I
Yeah.
feel a lot better with you can know Freddy Peralta all you want, and you're still gonna get 5 innings of really good pitching.
Hey, all the way through, Freddie, if Milwaukee is going to make a true run at an actual championship, Freddie Peralta every single game needs to bring it. Because all the other days right now, like Quinn Priester is your number 2 guy. And as much as you or I or anyone else may not like that, that's where it's at right now. I don't know. I felt confident where he was at going into that game. I mean, he was pitching in the park that he grew up 20 minutes away from. And it was his first playoff appearance, and he looked like he saw literal ghosts on the mound. He had so many nerves. I believe that Quinn Priester's stuff can play in the playoffs with that Milwaukee defense if he's not a scaredy cat. And yesterday, that moment was so big for him, way too big. He could not handle it. And maybe that was kind of just the jump into the cold water and you're going to feel it everywhere and it's going to suck. But the next time you jump in, it's not going to be that bad. And I hope that's the case. And because Murph said it last night. And like whether you or I like it, they're going to need Quinn Priester too. Milwaukee will need both of those guys to give them quality starts throughout here. And all on Freddy Peralta tonight. So that's our Brewers talk. I hope the next one can be positive. I don't know when our next Brewers conversation is going to be. As you can kind of tell, life has been nuts recently, and we just randomly were able to get on. The podcast gods were still trying to shut us out here with a computer restart right at the time that we scheduled to get going here. But we got it done, and we still need to upload it to the internet, but we should have a podcast out tonight. We should have another one out soon. A lot has been going on with Green Bay. Last time you and I talked, Rasheed Walker was saying that Green Bay should go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl. And since then, we are in a very, very different conversation as the Packers, of course, then beat Washington at home on Thursday night. I was there for that game. It was a fun time. Then the next 2 games were not a fun time as they lost to Cleveland and then tied against Dallas. So this team is 2-1-1 at this point. There's actually no undefeated team through 5 weeks in the NFL, so everybody's kind of had that what the heck happened already. Green Bay's had 2 of those now, but this will lead me into my first cheese grater. How big is Sunday's game for Green Bay, and where does this team stack up right now overall?
I don't think that this Sunday's game is, a season changing game. Just record wise, 2-2-1 versus 3-1-1. I'm not seeing a big swing there, but It's been 4 weeks since we've won a game with the loss, then tie, then bye.
Yep.
And with the young team that we still are, and we got younger when we brought Micah in, got to see progress. Micah's got to start
Mhm.
making tackles. We got to start seeing some more takeaways. A receiver has to step up. Can we get Matthew Golden involved? Like there's steps to the process. We know this team is really, really talented. We know Matt LaFleur is a really good coach. We know that Jordan Love has a step that he can take. We don't know if he will. And we know what Josh Jacobs can be. And Josh Jacobs is not a 66 yards a game type of guy. That number's got to go up. So win or loss, I don't think that makes Sunday a win or loss of a day. But this team does have to start getting some of these things right because we do have the talent to be that 14-2-1 team.
Yeah, that's a lot of things there where it's kind of you have this expectation for this team, as we kind of all did, and haven't seen that the past couple of weeks. And I think this Sunday is very important just for the fact that Cincinnati is terrible offensively and defensively. They just traded for Joe Flacco, who
Oh
played Green
God.
Bay and actually beat Green Bay. I
That
mean,
was
he
bad
didn't beat
news
Green
when I
Bay.
saw Flacco got traded.
Right. And yeah, the Green Bay better win this game. I think it's uber important that you like get the train back on the tracks. Like just to, I mean, if they lose, I'm not saying that the season's completely over, but over the course of it, this is a team that you cannot lose to. This offensive line is terrible. This defense can't stop anybody. They have wide receivers, of course, and they have Trey Hendrickson, and that's it. And Green Bay
Mhm.
needs to isolate that. They had a bye week. Guys are going to come back healthier. They've had all this time to prepare. No reason Green Bay loses this game. They're 14 and a half point favorites right now. Like there's no point that they lose this game.
They should take care of business. I think being a really good team is smoking the bad teams and not having those. All right, let's talk about jersey numbers. Let's see what kind of
Mm.
bag you got with the jersey numbers. I got three and a bonus. Brewers players. Tell me who number 24 is.
Jesus Aguilar.
Current Brewers.
Oh, current Brewers. Oh, sorry. Uh,
Jesus Aguilar? Where?
so I actually I watched For Love of the Game last night. I don't know if you've seen it, but they have the Yankee fan at the bar. He says, "I could name every a Yankee 1 through 99 right now," and he starts going through. And I'm like, I wonder if I could do that for Milwaukee. So that's kind of where my mind is at with that. 24. That feels like an Aaron Ashby. No,
That
that's wrong.
is that is Mr. Hot himself, William Contreras.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah.
How about number
Okay.
10?
It was Yasmani Grandal. Sorry.
Too
No,
deep
I
in the bag.
you see, going current players, that's messing me up. That's Sal Frelick.
That is definitely Sal Frelick. I got one more. It's a little trickier. 37.
37 was Adrian Hauser.
Why? I think I should give
And
you credit for getting Adrian Hauser and Jesus Aguilar.
oh, was he 36 or 37? I'll have to fact check myself later.
This is DL
37.
Hall.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I like them 2010s Brewers jerseys. That still pops in my mind. I don't know. That's just where I'm at when we talk jersey numbers. Because it's not cool to know the current players' jersey numbers like that.
It's tricky because in football you hear them called like, "Oh, give the ball to 2-3," something like that. You get called your jersey number. You,
Yeah.
you, you don't really see that in baseball. So you don't know about number 48 on this Brewers team, do you? I'd give you mad kudos if you did.
I mean, I'm guessing it's a bullpen guy. Uh, it's not McGill, is it?
No, that's Craig Yoho.
Yeah, not a shot. Okay, let's move on from that. What is your point of contentment with Milwaukee's season? Not even that you're happy with, but that you're not frustrated with. At what point can you say, no, say it was a good season? At what point do you say it was a good season? Where does that end? How does it look?
I don't think I should answer this question yet. Season's not job not finished. Job finished?
Job's not finished. You're
Job
not
not
playing.
finished. Um, this summer has been awesome for Brewers baseball.
Yeah.
The George Webbs, the multiple win streaks, the Andrew Vaughn. That's a dub, baby.
Okay.
Um, I don't want to start talking like a Giannis presser when he says, every time you don't succeed, is that a failure? Because the season's still going. We got like we're in the middle of winning right now. I don't really want to put my head around what's going to look like at the end of the season. Tell you what, if we beat the Cubs in the playoffs, it's going to be a nice cherry on top of whatever the season ends up like.
Yeah,
So tonight's a real big day.
that's
What's your
right.
favorite ballpark food?
Uh, so the Brewers dollar dogs, I will say they're fine for being a dollar, but here's my actual answer, and I might actually have it on hand. I'm just looking around. No, I have all of because we moved into our new house, so we have a bunch of things just laying around, and I'm just gonna check one second
All
quick, and
right.
I'll be
All
right
right.
right back here. I think I might have
For anybody who doesn't know, if you can get to AmFam Field, formerly known as Miller Park, they have a secret sauce. I don't know what is in this secret sauce. It's probably not that secret, but the secret sauce there is gas. So try that.
the secret sauce. Where?
Yeah, love me some secret sauce.
Okay, where's that at? Is that at?
AmFam, is it not?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't say I've had it, but my favorite consumption experience has been this beer bat. Would have been back in 2023 when Mark Canha hit a go-ahead grand slam in the bottom of the eighth inning against Washington, and I think I had about four of these beer bats. I think I spent more on those than I did my own ticket, and we sat in the first level there. But no, that was my favorite food experience. Doesn't really count. I don't really go out on the ballpark food. I'm there to watch games, maybe have some drinks, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I try to eat in the parking lot, get some brats. Yeah, brats in the parking lot. Yeah, that'll be
Love
my
it.
food answer.
Valid.
Are you going to watch another Badger football game this year?
Maybe. If
Maybe.
I'm doing nothing and I get an alert on my phone that kickoff just happened, and maybe I'm on my way to the bar to meet some buddies anyways, and I happen to be there when it's on, I check it out.
Yeah,
That's about it. I'm not, chomping at the bit to watch this Badgers football team this year. I look forward to hearing what they do in the offseason, though. I'm gonna
yeah,
stay with them. Speaking of Badgers, shout out Johnny Davis just signed with the Herd. They actually traded for him, so they traded with the New York team. Johnny Davis gonna be playing basketball in Oshkosh with the Herd. I think that's a great move to not only just accept him in, but go out and make the trade for the kid.
hey, just a half hour from my house now. You ever need a road trip there, Sam? We can go watch Johnny Davis tear it up again.
Shout out.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. What a week. What a time of the year. As my name says on Zoom, it's like Christmas. You got everything going on all at once, and we're getting ready for NBA, and I don't even want to talk about it yet, Sam. We'll get into that when it's the time. But right now, it's the time for Freddy Peralta to take it to Chicago. Hopefully, we see you next week with more Brewers baseball talk. This has been another edition of A Little Bit of Cheese, your bite-sized Wisconsin sports podcast.